A long time ago, there was once an engine who worked at a faraway railway. He was never given a name, or should I say, never lived long enough to be given a name. You see, all engines, when they are built, are friendly and hard-working. But once in a while, engines come out bad. And I am sorry to say that this engine came out very bad indeed. No one knows how he came to be built, or what led him to do the things he did. But he left a path of destruction that haunts his controller to this very day. The engine thought himself to be a premier engine from a famous lineage, but it was actually an experimental engine, using only parts of other steam engines. The parts didn't fit together very well, and made him very mean-spirited and somewhat unhinged. It was not uncommon for the engine to insult the others and resort to light sabotage, such as bumping them without warning or misplacing trains over small petty squabbles. It was also easy to anger and had fits of rage, taking it out on the trucks or sometimes engines smaller than he was. The engine was painted blue, but probably should have been painted black. One day, he bumped into one of these smaller engines and pushed him to the edge of the turntable well, threatening to knock him in if he didn't cater to his every whim. The bigger engines were furious and confronted the bad engine about his awful behavior. Stop bullying engines
smaller than you.
But he wouldn't listen. He continued to play spiteful tricks and threatened that if the big engines ever told the controller about it, he'd make them pay. The big engines, thoroughly fed up, got up very early one morning and met the controller at the station and told him everything of what the engine had done. But the controller's hands were tied, since the engine was on loan. "I can't do anything but put in a report to the engines company." One of the big engines was told to take a train, and the others stayed at the station, desperately trying to plead their case. It is said that the bad engine was passing through the yard at the time and saw the big engines. Needless to say, he was immediately suspicious. He confronted the big engine at the station and ended up saying, "Told you not to tell anyone, you'll get your..." The big engine just laughed, believing that the engine was only to be bluffing. He was most assuredly not bluffing. The next day, the big engine was pulling an express train.